Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm just getting ready to go live on Facebook. Yeah, go live on Facebook. So we're going to just catch on in there and go live. I hope all of you guys are having a great time. I'm looking forward to sharing more with you on how to be single and mingle during this holiday season. And hey guys, how are you doing? I think we're live on Facebook as well, but this is awesome. I'm just going to type in here. Go ahead and leave your comments here and we can have a great time. I just want to let you know that Dr. Penny has decided to join us. She's right over there. Yep, right over there. It curled up in her what's called a gray lash dog bed. It's beautiful. We could all hope to have a jacket that warm. Okay, all right. So I hope you guys are ready to be talking with me about how to be single and mingle this holiday season. Drop your comments, ask your questions. I'm here, and I'm gonna have a couple of questions that have been submitted to me, and I will be talking about them too today. So today is day 2, right? Day 2, and we're going to be talking about really something that's huge, is getting outside of our head and our home. And why do I say getting outside our head? So much about what we do around the holidays, and really a lot of the other things, it's almost like pre-programmed or part of our normal, regular habit, everyday kind of thing. Yeah. And so often we are not even questioning the family traditions, the holidays, whatever we want to be. So often we are just sort of buying into some of the stereotypes, you know, the party of one, or I'm alone, therefore I'm lonely. It doesn't, those two don't go together. We can be alone and be quite happy. We can be lonely in a crowd. So I just really want to starting to think about getting out of your head, getting out of the stereotypes, getting creative, knowing some of the triggers, knowing some of the things that might help you enjoy or help you continue to enjoy life as you are. And then if you're interested in getting in a relationship, be open to that. But we get out of our head, we're not desperate and we don't have the walls up. And so maybe there is that really cool relationship just waiting around the corner. In fact, my college roommate, when she went off to her first job in New York, she met her future husband in one of those, God, it should be like Sleepless in Seattle kind of things, but she was in New York, right? And everybody's piling down out of multiple floor law firm. And she just happens to pile into a taxi, everybody shared. And happened to have her future husband in there. The group giggled, laughed, had a great time. There was definitely some, I want to say chemistry. She said he was so funny, so witty. Again, they're connecting emotionally, intellectually. And they spent the rest of the Christmas party together, watching the sunrise over some part of New York. And they continued dating the entire time and eventually married. So, hey, it happens in the most kind of coincidental, magical, again, Sleepless in Seattle moments. So I want you to be open to it. I want you to have your mind open, set, and ready. Okay, ready? Getting outside our head, get outside of our home. So here's the first thing. I'm going to ask you a question. If you saw this red flag, if you were, or someone there close to you were going on multiple dates with someone that they weren't impressed upon or the first date, what would you say? What would you do? Okay, if you caught yourself like, oh my gosh, I thought this person was like, and I'm I keep accepting these dates. It might mean that you aren't outside of your head, you aren't seeing your power, you might not see your choice, you might be feeling a little desperate, okay? Well, think about dating your family, dating your friends, dating your holidays, traditions. Maybe if you stop and think and consider and really decide what works for you, you might realize you have more power than you thought, you have choices, and you can stop doing or stop going to some of these events. And you can instead insert something that you like, right? So that's getting outside your head, right? Step into your power. So red flag, if you were going on multiple dates with someone that you weren't impressed with on the first date, we want you to explore that. If you're saying yes to events or activities or traditions that don't suit you, that aren't of interest to you, at least right now, okay, I want you to stop and explore and step into your power and your choice, because the ball is way more in the court than you think. Okay, so we don't need to agree to holiday events. We don't need to agree to holiday traditions that you didn't enjoy in the first place, or maybe you did at first, but time has passed and they aren't fun for you. They don't grab you. All right. So what we want to do is we want to accept that we need to plan. We need to set expectations, mental expectations about these holiday events. We need to communicate honestly and clearly with those family, friends, people that are around us. We're kind of not feeling obligated to family traditions or friend invites. All right, that's a tough one. A lot of us really feel guilty or feel pulled to or compelled, which is obligated, because they asked us, or I'll be missing, or we hear their voices in our heads like, oh, you know, Liz isn't here this time. Okay. And so we fear the judgment, or we feel the pressure. Plus, maybe we haven't decided what we would swap it for. That seems like what I want to do is of higher value than what they want me to do. All right, so it's about getting in touch with ourselves. Maybe we end up running like a little frenetic because we've stressed ourselves out because we said yes to so many things on our calendar, and we don't have time to think, we don't have time to plan. We're just like this mad dash, okay, and we rush through the holiday without enjoying it. Okay. You can uninvite yourself. You can reverse your RSVP. Yeah, reverse RSVP. All right. You can say, you know what? I know I said I was going to be able to come by for the, I don't know, the potluck at the church, or the potluck at neighbor's home, or I was going to do the neighborhood dinner, roving dinner party, but I realized I have a conflict on my calendar and I can't make it. It's okay to retract your yes. And we're going to talk about more of that in the coming days. And if you have questions, I'm there to help you. All right. Because I've been there where I've like just said yes. And then when I sat down, look at my calendar, like, oh my God, well, I'm not even going to sleep based on all this stuff that needs to get done. All right. Another thing that we do is that we focus on what we don't have. Some of us do, instead of what we do have. And when we come from a mindset of scarcity, I don't have someone to go with me to this, or I don't have someone to wake up to. I get it. It's not what you wanted. It's not what you planned for, perhaps. But instead, we need to really dig deep and change that mindset to look at abundance and look at gratitude. Remember, we talked about gratitude last time. Let's focus on what we do have, because when we step into that, we have power, we have control, we have ease, and that's where I want you to be. And oftentimes, when we agree to holiday events or traditions, we actually start forgetting what the holidays are about. and I'll talk you a little bit about that. But maybe the family has a go around and say, you know, this year, instead of a gift exchange, I think we should all give each and every one of us a gift, right? A gift. Well, if you're the single person and you have siblings with spouses, and maybe they have children, all of a sudden your bank balance may start dropping. Your stress load goes up. You don't know what to get them. I mean, you maybe haven't had a 3-year-old of your own. And so we're like, what do I get them, right? And those family members, maybe unknowingly, that's not intentional. They're just thinking, this is going to be great. We're going to have lots of gifts and stuff like that. But they're not realizing it's coming from one bank account instead of multiple bank accounts. And it's coming from someone that maybe doesn't have the inside scoop what each family member has. So in that pressure to perform, the pressure to bring something that maybe you don't have time or money to prepare or buy, we forget about what the holiday is about. So you have more power than you think. You have more clout than perhaps you think. And that's why I want you to step into that. So you get outside your head and you start stepping into your power. All right. So how do you get out of your house? How do you get out of your head? Well, volunteering is a big, big one. I know because it's volunteer, but seriously, when you give to others, it really ends up coming back to you. It doesn't have to be money, but maybe it's something like you hear that there's a local food drive. And so you say, hey, give me some of those flyers. I'm going to drop them off at different houses. And I'm going to come back and help collect those. That's huge. You're getting to feel good. You're helping other people. You're perhaps maybe have a chance to meet your neighbors in the area. And I know that one year we did that for my husband's work, and it was huge. I think one, my little Fitbit was so happy. I hit more than my 10,000 steps, so that was a good thing. But two, actually met and then reconnected with some really nice folks that were super, super generous. I mean, one family just kept bringing out bags that they had collected for our community. So it's, I really highly recommend doing that. Maybe there's pets that you're involved with. Maybe there's things that you can give. There's, wrapping gifts for other people. I don't know, get creative. If you don't know how to volunteer or who to volunteer for, go to your neighborhood Facebook group or your next door group and say, guys, what are some cool places that could use my help? It's worth it. Remember, getting outside of our house, giving this gratitude comes back to us. We'll be paid multiple times over with. All right. Plus, you might meet some really nice people who have shared interests. Okay, it's all about networking, even on the holidays. So, get out of your house. Yep, get out of your house. Just go. Take yourself to the holiday events. Take yourself to the parade of lights. Get in your car. Make a hot cocoa or whatever, tea, whatever. Drive the route. Maybe there's Christmas music around here in the Austin area. There's a Mozart house. Oh my gosh. Lights, music, lots of people mingling. Even with the COVID kind of thing, people are having a good time. And it helps you start to, one, reconnect and not be isolated, but get into that holiday spirit. Years and years ago, when we were in Southern California, Nordstrom's always had classical piano, the big piano. It was gorgeous. And so holiday shopping was so spiritual. The music's playing, the place is decorated, the trees are up, the mall is up. And it was just really nice to walk through. You didn't buy anything. It just was nice to hear the music, to see the people, to see the decorations. And years ago, there used to be windows displays that were strictly for holidays. And there was the Santa on the roller coaster, the sleigh. It was all musical and magical. It was beautiful just to stop and look at what was in the window and so I want you to start pausing to be open to what might be nice and different. Maybe you're not a store person. I got it. I'm not either. But maybe you want to step out into the nature and you want to see the change in the seasons or snow or whatever it might be, get outside, enjoy yourself, enjoy music, enjoy the lights, enjoy the festivities. All right. Another one, connecting with family and friends that fill you up, not drain you, okay? Not drain you, but fill you up. You want to be very selective, and this is really important when you do the deep dive, no guilt or anything, but think back of who really brings something to you or who are the takers. And I want you to connect with the family and friends that fill you up. Please avoid connecting with those that bring you down, or really if it's a must do, really limit your time and exposure to them, because this is about you. And there's no Grinches allowed in this season. There's no energy drains. There's no ridiculing or guilting or anything like that. It's all about who and what makes you feel good, because it's your choice. It's your holiday. You are not responsible for other people's holiday festivities, right? Okay. Date yourself. Seriously, stop a second and think. If you were a couple, because oftentimes that's what we do, if you could go and do anything what you want to, do it anyway. You don't need a second person to go there. I mean, I think, gosh, you could even ride a tandem bike by yourself, right? And who knows? Maybe somebody cool would hop on the bike with you. But seriously, date yourself. Find out what you'd like to do with these days, these times off, if you're lucky to have some holiday time off. And what movie do you want to watch? What food do you want? What books do you want to do? How do you want to spend your after work hours? Do you want to curl up by the fire? You want to go work out? You want to go for a walk? It's you. All right. You don't need to wait around for anybody. You most certainly don't need to rein yourself in. So go for it. Hit the streets. And if there's people that really bring you up, maybe there's a friend that really brings you up, invite them along. Say, hey, I'm going on a date with myself. Would you like to go? Would like, group date, co-date. You're party one, I'm party one, let's go do it. Oftentimes it'll be really, really fun and surprising. And sometimes you learn from other people what they like to do for their traditions, and it's a nice fun. But again, only invite the A team. Okay. Also, this is a big one. I talked about communication earlier. You must know what you want and speak up about it. So clarity is huge. Get clear about what you want before you say yes, before you say no, before you pull out your money. Get clarity about what you want, where you want to go, how you want to spend your holiday, and speak up. No hedging, no lying. You don't need to lie. You don't need to explain yourself, but certainly no compromising, especially if it's going to damage your time, your wallet, your self-esteem, right? It's all about knowing what you want and then speaking up, which goes back to getting out of your head. All right. So we're all about power. Now, thank you for everyone for hanging in here. I want to encourage you to keep DMing me questions and topics, or we can drop on a talk. And one of the questions that came in yesterday, and I thought I need to share this with you guys. Well, I've actually had two that have a similar theme. But the question is, my family says that I'm single, so I'm a party of one. And so I get one vote, one person equals one vote, but my siblings are couples. They're married or they're in a relationship, they're in a dating relationship. So they get 2 votes, one for each person. And I don't think it's fair, because I've been single for a while and I'm not seeing myself like just jump into a relationship in the holidays just so I could add another vote to this. And so I always seem to be outnumbered. I'm thinking that it needs to be more of a family vote, that each family, I'm a family, my brother and his wife's a family, my sister and her husband's a family. There should be 3 votes there, right? And so not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 5 votes. And I think that, you know, when I've run the numbers, that sometimes my wishes would have, you know, won the vote if we were doing family votes, not individual votes. So what are your thoughts, Dr. Liz? Because this really impacts my gift giving, what kind of meals I'm supposed to bring, you know, what events I have to show up to. And I really like the word that they say they have to show up to, right? Well, I'm thinking that this system could and should be modified that is more respectful of you as well as each other person. I think there's nothing wrong with having a family vote. And I think that if you perhaps were to shift or share that with folks and not just store it in your inside, because she shared more about this later on, that she just has gone ahead and said, well, wait a minute. And people just kind of plays on like it's good for the group kind of thing. So I think that having a more honest conversation with folks now, not after the fact, and saying let's just do this, like each pod has a voting power and then we vote and we see how it works. That's one thing. I would also maybe support things with them, like okay, 2 years ago we changed it from exchanging names for the adults and exchanging, one of the aunt or uncle would give one of the kids a gift. We went to everybody gets a gift. Well, that doesn't fit with my budget. So I'm an income of 1, and I might be, buying gifts for maybe 10 people. Prior to that, I was buying gifts for 2 people, 1 adult and 1 child, and it fit in my budget. And I want to be able to spend time, energy, and interest and intention on buying the right gift for the people I get to choose. And so I think if you come from your heart and you explain that factually, you're going to have some traction. If you find yourself overrode and they say no, then okay, all right. Maybe you realize it's time for you to realize that your logic isn't working in this group, and so then you get to do different choices. Maybe you opt out of the gifting. Hey, I'd love to, but my budget this year isn't going to allow me to participate in the gift exchange or the gift giving, and you back out. All right, it's okay. Or you defy what the rules that they've said, and maybe you give 1 family gift. And maybe it's a food item, or maybe it's something that you know that they need, or it's a really cool popcorn bowl. I don't know. It's something that you thought that they might enjoy, and it's something that fits your budget. That's where you go. Same thing for meals, what you have to bring, times for people to show up for the event, all of that. That's where I want you to start stepping into your power and embracing yourself and feeling confident about your choices. Yeah, you may have stepped on people's toes. Yes, they may not be happy because you're bucking the system. But what? Is doing what works for you, and that makes it your holiday. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Continue to send me your questions, send me your concerns, topics, and you can always DM me. I'm available, and I'd love to chat with you. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we work on creating new traditions. That's going to be fun, that have you ready for the new year and potentially new love. So you're going to work on creating your traditions. All right. So take care. Talk to you soon. I will be popping up here, but I will watch for comments. I'll watch for DMs. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Bye.